Good day, folks. I'm Don. This is Rockin' the Country. Welcome to the channel. I'm looking forward to this because I love Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show. And I actually bought as a 40, I think it was a 45. I don't think I bought the album. It's Sylvia's Mother. And that song still resonates deeply with me. But this is Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show's. I think you would say Cooky and Lila, but it could be Cooky and Lila. I don't know how they're going to pronounce Cooky or Cooky, but it was requested by Dougie U. So Dougie, or Doug I-E-U. But Dougie U, shout out to you, my friend. Let's see what we've got here.
He was a short order cook and not too much to look at, and he traded in his foot for a medal in the war.
Ah, shit.
He loved a girl named Lila in a bar across the highway, and you ought to see him smiling at her coming through the door. Lila always knew she wasn't no raving beauty. She traded in her virtue to a trucker at 16. But she forgets to remember how he left her off in Denver when she sees her cookie smiling as she opens up the screen. And he says, "Hi, Lila, how about a cup of coffee? Take a load off, take your shoes off, here's the sugar and the cream." Cookie's been to war and Lila's been to Denver, and both of them are casualties of someone else's dream.
Wow. Wow.
Cookie pours the trucker's coffee, Lila serves the riggers whiskey, and resists their invitations to go riding for a while. 'Cause at a diner across the highway, on a shelf above the pastry, there's a cup reserved for Lila and the man who makes her smile. When he says, "Hi, Lila, how about a cup of coffee? Take a load off, take your shoes off, here's the sugar and the cream." 'Cause Cookie's been to war, Lord, and Lila's been to Denver, and both of them are casualties of someone else's dream.
What a line.
Now as the nation rolls along like a semi down the highway, casting lonely broken bodies in the grass along the road, I finally found my reason for believing in the future, seeing Cookie and his Lila drinking coffee all alone. Yes. Hi, Lila, how about a cup of coffee? Take a load off, take your shoes off, here's the sugar and the cream. 'Cause Cookie's been to war and Lila's been to Denver, and both of them are casualties of someone else's dream. Cookie's been to war, Lord, and Lila's been to Denver, and both of them are casualties of someone else's dream.
Jeez, I don't know who thinks of that stuff. There's some lines that I just wish I'd come up with in life, but but that's part of the dynamic of life. We're all casualties in some way of someone else's dream, whether it's our parents who wanted us to turn out a certain way, go into certain occupations, or be a certain thing or way or whatever, or teachers who want us to be a certain way in the classroom that doesn't fit our personality. And in any case, there's societal expectations of us, and they're not all wrong, they're not all bad. Some of them are for our own good, but they shape us. But then, like, I'm pretty malleable in ways. I don't have to set the path that I go on. In my life, I can adopt, all right, the idea doesn't have to emanate from me if I'm with someone, let's say, like here's Cooky and Lila, but I can speak about me, of course. I can go on someone else's journey with them because the key to me is being with them if I like or love them. And all of us, in a way, are casualties of others' dreams, but sometimes we sacrifice too much of ourselves. And that's the balance in a marriage or in a relationship is when two people come together, the thing that attracts them, part of what attracts them is the other person, the way they are, the fresh ideas they have, their ways of doing things aren't the ways you necessarily do them, and they can be refreshing. And as long as we're able to retain our individuality to a point, the relationship will work. But like here, Lila, followed some dude, I guess, to Denver. Cooky went off to war. And that he was a casualty of someone else's dream. He traded in his foot. He got his foot blown off in a war. Lila, and so he was a casualty of someone else's dream. The government decided, and I'm assuming this is a reference to Vietnam, sent him off to war, and he came back, and he wasn't what he was. And then Lila goes off to Denver, follows some guy, and presumably, and it didn't work out. But then they wind up being able to relate to each other. And that's where I was going with all of that. Even though they were casualties and they'd both been hurt in ways, they were able to, in some, bring it together, and they could understand each other. Because you not only you of course want to enjoy each other's company, but a big part of a relationship is understanding the other person. And in this one, in the end, I didn't know where he was going to go with it. I kind of was hoping for that Hollywood ending where he establishes that they did end up together, and they did. And that makes me happy. But just the way Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show, the way they sing their lyrics, they have fun, like the cover of the Rolling Stone. But then Sylvia's Mother Will Rip Your Heart Out. I reviewed that thing a few years back. But that they came out with, like, to me, like a legit country song, I assume that was steel. It could have been a different instrument where you're bending the strings to a high note, but they sure enough sounded like steel to me. I don't know. It could be slide bending the guitar, but I don't think so. But you guys can clue me in on that. So I'm going to rate this one. That was a hell of a story. But that one line, casualties of someone else's dream. Whew. That to me, this song to me was a 9.2. It kept me engaged the whole time. So there it is. All right, Dougie, you. Thank you very much, my friend. I hope you all enjoyed that. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video. Keep rocking the country.